Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I wanted to do sort of a half-year check-in. It is halfway through 2023. How are you? How are you doing? I'm going to be asking you questions. I'm going to be answering some. I'm going to be drawing. This is my planner. It's a B6 Midori, and every month I drew a rabbit because it's a year of the rabbit, and then I started in colored pencil, like sketching in different plants and things that rabbits eat. I got these lists from the internet, so if it is not accurate, I blame them. I've never owned a rabbit. Here are some nasturtiums. I prefer mine in salad. Here are some honeysuckle, some pansies. I like them on cupcakes or in salad. Here are some English daisies. And then I'm behind, so May, and then I filled out June, and we're in July, so I'm behind. So I thought, because I've just been doing and drawing these in the evening by myself, that I would incorporate this into a video and sort of share the process while I create. I'm going to be using my Faber-Castell Polychromos for most of these, probably all of this. And I'm going to be doing calendula, which is another edible flower that I believe rabbits can eat. If you've owned a rabbit, I would love to hear about it. I think they're so cute. This one has a pencil extender because my pine green is really short. And then I'm going to need some oranges and more yellows. So this is going to be very bright and cheery for the month of May. As I go and draw this, I just need to make sure that when I'm gathering my colors, I have enough of a value range, darks and lights, when I go to do this, that it looks good. The wider the color range, the better it tends to look. So let's do that. I want to sharpen this one. And we can get to chatting. This is my Mobius Rupert brass sharpener. It's heavy. I have two of them. I love them. I have additional blades that I can put in if it gets dull. Here's the other one I have. They're really nice. I don't travel with them because they're so heavy, but I do enjoy a hand sharpener. I feel like I waste less when it comes to colored pencils, and the Polychromos are so soft that when you do small detail, you end up sharpening them more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch the shape with a lighter color and then go in with mid-range, shadow, highlight, and probably add stem last. So we are halfway through the year. Can you see that? Oh my goodness. Okay. How are you doing? How are your resolutions going? How are your goals? How is your plan for yourself, short-term, long-term? How is that going for you? This is kind of your mid-year. If you haven't achieved something, it's time to reevaluate how you're going about assessing these goals and maybe break them down into smaller chunks so they're not as overwhelming. Or if you're super bored with the goals you set, it's time to set harder goals. And that can be a difficult one to sort of wrap the mind around, because it's hard getting out of one's comfort zone. We want to stay in our comfort zone. It's comfy by definition. So often I think it's harder to be bored, underwhelmed, than it is to be overwhelmed. But if you have some big projects or some different ideas of things you really wanted to do this year, what's stopping you? There's a book I did a review for about sort of psychology of artists and getting out of one's way. I will link that video and that book so we can kind of chat about it. Here, maybe I'll put this to the side and put an image right here or something, because I think that psychology for artists and talking about how we feel when we go to create is very, very important. And sometimes that can hold us back from doing the things we want to do, and trying to figure out time management can be very, very difficult. Making sure we have time to do the things we want to do without stressing ourselves out or making art not enjoyable. Art should be a fun thing and an enjoyable thing that we do. And if it's not fun and enjoyable, maybe that's something that needs to be looked at and reset in the goals for long-term and short-term, which is a very good goal. How am I doing on mine? Excellent question. Better on some than others, I can honestly say. I'm doing fine on like my reading goals. I love reading. I always try and do like 50 books a year and at least one a month as an art book. So I think I'm ahead on that. I keep track of it on Goodreads because otherwise that would just be another journal, and between you and me, like my hand wants to fall off some days. Like it's just tired of all the writing and the drawing. So having one less thing that I have to write and draw about is actually really nice. And then having a place where it keeps track of it for me and I don't have to worry about it is also wonderful. Plus Goodreads is free, so I really like that. If you want to hop on Goodreads, I'll link my Goodreads if you want to say hi, see what I'm reading. I'm reading some mysteries and things right now. I love a good mystery. As for other goals, I have a list. So I've started, and I don't know, like I love this planner. I think this planner is wonderful for designing, for creating and for pencil and pigment, just for my work. I've been making notes and all the things. There are blank pages in the back for illustration. I believe this planner is probably sold out. This is my list for what to draw for the months. And I apologize if it's sold out and you can't get it anymore. They only make so many and then they have to move on to next year's pretty quickly. I know like Sterling Ink has already come out with their 2024. Spoiler, I won't be buying one. Maybe if their A5 had like horizontal weekly spreads instead of vertical, I'd be more interested or inclined. I'm gonna need something bigger for next year. My goals have goals. You know what I want? I want a little bit of brown. Just a little tiny bit of something brown. Let's see what I have. Maybe this color would be nice. So I've decided, I've gone in through, I have a bullet journal from Archer and Olive. And I've split it in two, sort of. So from one direction, so from front to back, it's all art and design stuff. Well, sort of. Well, okay, let me switch. Let me figure out how to word this. I started it front to back with art, and that was my no-buy front to back. And I stopped, and then from back to middle is all my art notes, things for videos where I write in the bullet journal and do stuff like that. And then the front back now, I've decided to go through and try and figure out how to really keep track of the lists and things that need to be done in my life. Like yard work, housework, but things for my channel too. I used to be a Post-it person. There's nothing against Post-it folks. I love you guys. You guys are my favorite guys. I love you. Post-it people are my favorite. I mean, they're transparent, there's fun colors, there's neons, and you can just stick them and overlap them and make things out of them. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Post-its are the best. However, oh, do I lose them? Oh, do I stick them to everything? It's horrible. I'm gonna do an orangier one. Like this one was fun, but I need one that's more orange. And so I had my Post-its were like lists of different parts of my life, of the house, of the chores, and there were just too many, and I was stacking them, and I started making little like Post-it books, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Where do I put this? So I started making finalized lists in my bullet journal, and I was like, you know, I kind of feel like I need to go back to the bullet journal book by gosh, what's his name? Carol? I forget his name. Okay, I'll put a picture of it. It's a fantastic book. I've checked it out from the library multiple times. There's always a huge wait list for it. In paperback, in digital version, there's always such a huge wait, and it doesn't matter which library system I go through. I always have to wait and wait. So that may be like a purchase I do when it comes to paper this winter for next year. I may actually purchase a hard copy of it. I've just been checking it out too many times. And then my notes on the book feel like I'm writing an entire book. So I'll probably find a used version somewhere. I love used. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out how to keep track of all the things in my life as my brain gets tired, as I want to reach more of my drawing and art goals, and just make sure everything's running smoothly around the house and the homeschool and all the things. Okay, my battery always runs out and resets at about the 12-minute mark. Anyway, so I started doing that in my bullet journal, and I've been doing it for over a month. And I'm one of those people where like a month isn't enough to know if it's working or if it's good. I know I'm working out more. Like my habit tracker, I did a video on habit trackers, and there's a printable if you're interested. And I'm using it as a bookmark with my evening journal for my thoughts and feelings. And that's working really well. Like I managed to work out every day but 3 days for the month of June, and that's really, really good. So I know like that's a success, but is that a long-term success? I can't tell. So let me show you. I'll zoom out later and okay, I'll show you. Hold on, this video's a mess. So here's my Archer Olive, and I just love snakes. And you can see where like Post-its were like taking over, and so I started trying to format different things and figure out the days with the lists and like how to rearrange things and make sure I'm getting everything in the week. And I tried some tape, and as you can see, it got better and more organized, and I started adding like a little bit of color, and this week's a little bit like it's working. It's definitely working. I just need to do it longer. I'm probably going to do this method through the end of the year. And once I have that, I'll get to November, December, and I'll figure out if this method is something that's really been enhancing everything and making sure I'm getting things done and reaching the goals I want to reach. And if it is, it'll probably change the shape and the way I buy planners. I may just go to dot grid books for planners, and they may have Tomoe River paper in them, they may not. I'm not really drawing or doodling in them, which is a shame, which is why I like things like this are so much fun. Because this is such a fun thing to do, like while I chat with folks or listen to audiobooks or, you know, listen to a TV show or something. Like it's just fun to have like a little doodle place. Little doodle safe space, because I love a good doodle. But it may change, and I need more things in my life that encourage me completing my goals and enhance that, not detract from that. And I feel like, and maybe this is more of a planner conversation we should have later, that there's just like a lot of planners out there and different things that just aren't helping that, enhancing that. And then I see people sort of dropping their planner system and starting over mid-year or changing things up because what they had wasn't working. And I feel like a lot of the planners are just really, really beautiful, but not enough customizable or a blank template or something. I mean, what I'm using takes me about 5 minutes to fill in Sunday night for the following week, and I can handle 5 minutes. If it were hours, there's no way I could maintain that. I don't have enough extra hours, and that would start to cut into my drawing time. And I don't want to do that. Drawing is a bigger priority than having like creative journal spreads and stuff. Even though, I mean, there's a lot of really cool templates and design ideas on like Pinterest or Instagram, sites like that. It's It's not for me. I feel like the whole idea of it is just to keep you organized. And I feel like I'm losing sight of that with some of the designs and ideas of some of the like some of the planners that are being made are absolutely like pieces of art. They're just pieces of art. And I'm like, how would I plan in that or draw in that or write in that? I wouldn't want to. I'd start to and I'd be like, well, that's not enhancing the design. That's not making it look any better. And then I would stop. Like it wouldn't be a thing I'd be able to maintain. I have a traveler's pencil board, so I don't transfer. I'm not spraying these. You can spray your colored pencil illustrations to keep them from transferring and lifting, but this is just my planner, so I'm not worried about it. It's not that deep. So I am behind on some sort of illustration graphic design stuff for our homeschool, and that's starting to give me added pressure and stress because I feel behind. I have some like workbooks and things. I couldn't find specific workbooks for what the kids wanted to learn, so I created one, but it was really, really like rough. They got the very rough edition, and I'm sorry, kids. And they did wonderfully with it, and they learned a ton, and they loved it. I just need to polish it up and then publish it if other kids want, or other homeschoolers or educators want to use it. Because there just isn't anything. It's for ancient Japan, and there isn't a lot of workbooks for ancient Japan for some reason. And so I really need to just get that off my computer before my computer dies forever. I have 2 computers, so the end of 2021, my parents bought me a really nice Mac. It's green, it's beautiful. I use it for the editing and stuff. But I have a really old, an old PC that has all the Adobe programs, and it's so old. I'm running Adobe Creative Suite 4. Yeah, we're on Windows 7 over here. I don't feel bad. Adobe's like overpriced for small creators and artists that just freelance and stuff. It's just really overpriced for the cloud. So I'm just kind of using this computer till the wheels fall off, and the wheels are starting to fall off, but like, I'm like one of those Flintstone folks with my feet pedaling trying to keep the car running. I don't care. It's fine. I mean, a lot of people would have given up a while ago on their computer. We're not like that. We just keep going. So I need to get stuff off my computer and get things finalized and finished so I can move on. My kids want to learn ancient Persia for history in the fall for next school year. And there's some books. There's definitely some children's books and some older books that I think that would work for them. There's just no like workbook or thing to practice writing and presentations and art, and I like having that all coalesced into one bound thing. So I need to get on that. The year is passing me by. I feel like this is missing a leaf, so let's put in some more green here somewhere. Do I know what a calendula leaf looks like? I don't think I do. I've never grown one. Let's see. I don't think it's that complicated. There's so many things I've never grown, so I'm unsure of. Oh, okay, it's kind of shaped like that. Fair enough. Okie dokie, let's add a leaf. I don't know that I want it to come. Let's see. The greens aren't very staining when it comes to the polychromos, so that's nice for lifting. I have just a Pentel cap eraser. It's one of those polymer type deals. I want this farther away though. Alright. There's the shape. There just needs to be more green. Anyway, so those are some things I need to work on. I want to finish my Celebrating Sunshine sketchbook We've had weeks and weeks and weeks of no sunshine. I did a whole video about that. It was a piano hinge binding. It was very fun to make. It's very unusual. Absolutely all about it. It's just super cool and unique. But I need to finish that too. So I have my work cut out for me for the rest of this year. I kind of need to pick up the pace. I've been relaxing. I need to finish the other set of videos that is intermediate. So if folks are interested in intermediate watercolor, intermediate drawing, intermediate charcoal, intermediate fine liner, I need to figure out if folks want a colored pencil tutorial of any kind. I just need to get to hopping on some of this stuff. Well, I'm doing the back side of the leaf. Anyway, so there is a lot to be done. And then I have to decide, like December, I have done like Vlogmas where you post every day in the month of December. If you are new to my channel, let me tell you, my birthday is in December, my wedding anniversary is in December, and then we celebrate Christmas, and that's also in December. So December's kind of busy. It just really is. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. It'd be fun to like drawing through the holidays Vlogmas. That'd be really, really fun. Like pick something. I've never done a Christmassy drawing challenge, and I haven't done any drawing challenges this year, so it might be kind of fun to sort of end the year on one or try one. I don't know. I'm not sure. It depends on how organized I am with gift buying. Oh gosh, was that entire thing off the screen? I'm so sorry. I'm trying to keep track of the time, place it, what I'm drawing, the conversation, keeping this on film, doing this in real time. I apologize if that entire thing was off the screen. That's horrible. I'll do better. I'll do better. I won't move it. Let's draw a little on the other side. But as you can see, like I'm behind in the little doodles in my monthly planner. So we know that things are getting away from me, and okay, I'm on the screen. Things are getting away from me and they shouldn't be. So that is something I need to do better with. And I'm really hoping that this planner of me putting all my lists together, and like I said, it's making sure that I work out more, which is really, really cool. That's always something that I always forget to do, and I get to the end of the night and I'm like, oh, I totally forgot. So it is successful for that aspect. I just need it to help me with time management and planning and looking ahead. And I'm hoping that because it's so specific to me, that it'll help with that. I don't know. I'll do a thing at the end of the year and we'll look at all the spreads and we'll talk it out. And maybe that could help you with making sure you get a planner that works for you. Or maybe if you've never had a planner, maybe that'll help seal the deal whether you need one or actually don't need one. It's just so hard because every year kind of is so different with the amount of stuff we're doing and how I'm doing. Like emotionally is different every year. The amount of stuff we do is different every year. And granted, the past few years with COVID and stuff has really limited a lot of that. But as we start to step back out into the world, there's going to be more stuff on our plates, and I just need to make sure that everything else doesn't fall away. So I'm checking in with you for your mid-year. And did you have New Year's resolutions? Maybe you don't like those. Maybe those are just ridiculous or just pressure that's unnecessary or unwanted, or it doesn't work when you phrase it that way? Did you have goals that you set this year? Or maybe you had like a word of the year that you were keeping to for mindfulness or relaxation or prioritizing you and self-care, putting your hobbies to the forefront. Maybe that was something you really wanted to focus on, and art was one of those hobbies. How's that going? Is that a success? Do you need to reset, reevaluate, or reorganize that in any way? Like I said, this planner isn't working for all our house needs. It's just for pencil and pigment, and it's just for fun at this point. Like, it's not meeting the pencil and pigment needs. So I kind of need to put all my lists together to see it. I need an overview. Like, my life is just how I choose to see everything and how I organize and how I do stuff. I have to see everything at once. And I get, for some people, like, that looks cluttered and it's overwhelming. But that's how my brain goes, okay, well, how do I prioritize it if I have 16 things to do or 32 things to do? I have to see it all at once. And I'm not seeing it all at once in this planner, which is fine. This planner is fun. I'll do a planner walkthrough at the end of the year when it's all filled out, because I will fill it out and do all the things with it. It's just not as helpful as it could be. So I need to then ask myself, what would make this planner more helpful? And there isn't a lot of space for that. It's just too small to be able to put all my life into it. So I need a different style planner next year. I am thinking bullet journal, or like the Moleskine 400 expanded I have, that's blank page that I journal in. They make a 400 page expanded Moleskine that's dot grid. That might be really, really helpful. I need a darker brown in this. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use my new Carmine. Oh, you can't stop me. Okay. Why would you want to? Yeah, I think that might be the way to go. And I know the planners are so much fun, and Hobonichi really has quite the market on marketing their products, with teasing them out over September to sort of build up anticipation and want, and sort of that idea of limited. Like, they make everything seem like it's very limited and could sell out at any moment, and so you feel that pressure to buy, because what if it's not there? So I feel like a lot of people really enjoy their marketing strategy and get to purchasing because of it. It's very clever. It's very clever how they do that. And then they have things that come out later in December, and then they have the half year for next year. So there's always really something coming out for them. And I think they've done very well for themselves. That's still on screen? Okay, good. We're doing good. Just making sure. The Carmine I used was the Caran d'Ache Luminescence, in case you're wondering why that pencil looked a little different. But yeah, it's time for evaluation. Mid-year ask. How are you doing? So when you ask yourself how you're doing, ask yourself how you're feeling. Ask yourself if there are things you could be doing differently to make things easier, to spend more time doing the things you love, the things that are important to you. Don't let the fact that it's mid-year start to stress you. Just let it be something positive. Like, if this year has been really, really hard, then congratulate yourself for getting through this far. Really pat yourself on the back. Like, some years are really, really tough. And if this one is a particular tough one for you, then I'm proud of you for getting through it this far, for making it. You made it. First half is done. If this has been an absolutely wonderful year for you, I am so happy to hear that too. I love hearing that. I think that's fantastic. This year has been a lot. It's been a lot. Some years just are. So, here's my other little sunshiny baby. And I'm thinking this one needs probably a leaf as well. It looks lonely. Plus, I don't think I got that leaf on camera. Again, I'm so sorry. There's so many things to keep track of when you're trying to draw and talk in real time. And I don't typically do notes because otherwise I would look over at my notes too much. And I don't want to do that because it'd be a lot of starting and stopping, even though there already is. I just want to make sure. If you are interested in a beginning colored pencil tutorial, let me know. That's absolutely something I can incorporate this month. So, there are tricks, there are tips, there are blending things. Again, these are just quick little doodles for me, for my planner. It's not... This isn't anything I would make art out of or stickers or gifts for anybody. Also, color pencils are really, really fun for mixed media, for enhancing watercolors and stuff. But that's kind of more, I would consider that more of, in some respects, an advanced. This is where everything gets kind of relative and subjective. Like, what do you consider intermediate? What do you consider advanced? I think when learning watercolor, when you start adding different mediums to it, it gets much more advanced. It gets much more complex. You have more things you have to keep track of along with the water. So, that's my thoughts. Let's do... I want to have, maybe he's folding over just a little bit. Well, that's really coming close to the edge of the page. You can kind of see that. Okay. Anyway. Yep, July. In the United States, we, on the 4th of July, we celebrate Independence Day, and that's a lot of fireworks. So, my next video will be next week, so 4th of July will pass. If you have pets or small children, remember to keep them inside. The fireworks can be very jarring and surprising. A lot of them are loud and jolting, and pets have very, very sensitive hearing. We kind of have like a little snood hat that we put on our dog to protect her ears. She goes everywhere we go. She prefers it, and we love it. So you find some way to protect their hearing. Make sure your cats are inside so they don't run away. You don't want sad, scared little babies running around the street getting lost. And then small children, either headphones or... I guess, but we put our kids to bed early on 4th of July. We just didn't participate, especially we have twins. So, I mean, they're 12 now, but when they were super little, we just bowed out of everything. We don't mind doing that. Alrighty. Do I want to add a little bit of glow here? Let's do that, make it real obnoxious. Even darker. Anyway, yeah, protect the sensitive hearing ones in your life during this holiday. It can be very difficult. Or those you love that suffer from PTSD. 4th of July can be a lot because of the noise. So here are my doodles for the month of May. Again, I'm super behind. I'll do June probably tomorrow. But yeah, we're halfway through this year. This year has been an absolute wild one. If you've had to reevaluate how you track your stuff, I'd be interested in hearing about how you plan and organize and do things. I just want to be efficient and helpful and make sure I'm doing the best job I can do in my life for all the things. And I'm starting to see some of my lists pile up and get long. So I know it's time. All right. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.